Okay, so here's a look at the back end of a grave digger Power Wheels vehicle, and we're going to reinstall the gearboxes. I just had upgraded these gearboxes to a 7R with a metal gear first drive and then 775 Traxxas motors. These come in and out pretty easy. I've already obviously removed the axle off of it, but they're just going to go back in place. This will be the right side. Basically, they just hang into position. There's not a whole lot holding them. And there's a couple of screws on the other side that I'll show you in a minute. So on this side, and it's just going down into here, and really not much, it'll fall right out unless you put the cover plates back on, which are these, and then there's a couple of screws that go with them as well. Did you? Good job. That's the first stage in reassembly. We'll do the same thing on this right side. What, bud? Be careful. It was great. Oh, the towel. Yes, go ahead. I thought you said towel.
Where is it?
Okay.
Where's the towel?
There's one over there if you want, bud.
What?
Okay, so I've put the quick connectors on the ends of the motors, and therefore when I'm replacing them I can swap them out pretty quick. I've got them labeled already, so from my red and my blacks, because oddly enough a lot of the power or the wiring from the Power Wheels is green and yellow or blue and orange or what have you, so just make sure you get them right, because obviously you don't want your motors running in opposite directions. Alright, hold on, bud. Got a black on here and then a red on that one. So that's the first step in reassembly, and we'll put the axle back through in a minute. Okay, so we've got the axle, and we're going to take I've kind of reassembled it, but we've got a cotter key that comes with it, or a cotter pin that comes with it, and a washer as well. They're just going to go back in this same order. And we're going to take this, slide it in from one side through the gear assembly, or the gearbox. I'll let you get that in there. Slides on. Just a little bracket inside here too. Just fits in the middle. Kind of keeps the axle in line. And I'm going to be a little probably unnecessary here, but I'm going to put a little bit of the gear grease in there. I did notice when I took it apart that it was moving pretty hard, and you know, anytime you can free up friction on these things is a time that's less likely to strip or blow out of gear, and I've done my fair share of them for sure, so I'm trying to be preventive as possible. Oh yeah, that slides in much better. Straight through the gear and out the other side. And these are going to mesh with the gears and the motors, and we're looking to be in pretty good shape. Good job, dude. Okay, so after you get the axle shoved through the whole thing, you're going to want to make sure that these line up with the teeth on here. So take the hub of the wheel, secure it on there, and then just until it nestles in, you'll see that the hole itself should line up fairly well. There's a spacer that's inside there as well, a washer, and then the cotter pin will go right over the top. And then basically we're going to take the wheel, and this is the outermost part of it that holds that to the wheel, slide this over, and we're going to install the screws back into that wheel as well. Okay, now that we got the rear wheel back on, we can assemble the chassis, and that's just going to slide back down over the top, like so.
Ready?
See that everything lines up fairly well. I've got some extra wires in here just running the series for the 12 volt and upping it to 24 volt. And then there's just a couple of screws on digger. There's a couple on this side here, a couple on the other side as well, and then a few that go down in here and into the chassis. Honestly, I've had mine off so many times that some of them are pretty well stripped out, but the weight of the battery holds the back on, so I put a couple in the side here and call it a day.
Dad, is it almost ready? Almost ready?
Almost, bud.
When are guys gonna be here?
So now we're ready to go. We got the new motors installed, and we're gonna get everything up and running with 24 volts.